What's up YouTube? I'm Josh Newlin. In this video I'm celebrating 1,500 subscribers by doing a Q&A video for you guys. Thank you all. It's been amazing to support my channel through almost 2 years now of being on YouTube. We've passed 1,500 subscribers now, and I'm just really grateful for all the continued support, the messages, the comments. You guys are the reason I do this. There'd be no reason to do this if I wasn't, being able to help y'all and encourage you guys. And, it's a back and forth thing. You guys encourage me and inspire me as well. So I did a poll on my Instagram, which is Newlin Performance, by the way. Shameless plug. But I did a poll on my Instagram one day just asking, which kind of video would you guys want to see to celebrate this 1,500 subscriber milestone, that's the word. And the most responses said Q&A, so that's the type of video I'm doing. Then my last video I said, leave some questions in the comments. So questions I'm answering are from the comments of my last YouTube video and on Instagram when I asked for questions as well. So with that said, I have 12 questions for you guys today. They're all pretty interesting and cover a fairly wide range of topics and things. So let's just get straight into it. First of all is, what is the best thing about college life? For me, I'd just say the freedom and then the community. Just the freedom because it's all up to you. You don't have your parents telling you to get up at a certain time, or you need to do this or that, which can backfire. If no one's telling you to take out the trash and you're not that disciplined like me about things like that, then that could be a problem. But you learn, you adapt, and just that freedom is nice. And then the community, you can just walk into each other's apartments and hang out, chill, find whatever to do. And that's a really nice thing that's pretty much just unique to college, because you're all living together. All your best friends are living with you, or just a building down or something, and that's something that's unique to college. I know I'm really gonna miss that a lot after I graduate. So I'd say those are the best things about college life: freedom and then the community of it. Next question is, how many schools should did you reach out to get recruited? So for me, if I got the number right, there's 83 schools on a list, and I narrowed that down using different factors to get it to 83 and just emailed all of them. Like I mentioned in an earlier video, you need to figure out maybe 3 or so factors that you just don't budge on. They have to be this price, or they have to be, in one of these states, or I have to get this amount of scholarship covered, something like that. Pick a few factors that you just, it has to be that way, and then use those to narrow down your list of schools. For me, that was pretty much just major and location. So obviously reach out to the most possible, but also save yourself a bit of time, do that little bit of research, and just go, okay, I know I'm for sure doing this major. They don't have that major, cross them off. So that way you're only reaching out to schools that you would go to. So I don't think there's necessarily a number, but it just depends on what you're looking for in a school, and don't start out too picky. Normally people are too picky versus too broad. So what is my dream football opportunity location? That's pretty hard to say. I know after I graduate I want to try and stay in America and play here, but that's not really the dream. That's more just being realistic with the price of things and visas, travel, all that. Especially now that we're in the COVID pandemic era. Probably England or Spain, and Germany as well. Those would probably be my top 3 if I had to pick. Next is, what were the biggest challenges I faced when applying for a specific college? So I'll be honest, applying is pretty easy unless you're applying for a really smart school like Ivy League, like Harvard, or you're applying somewhere like Stanford or Duke. The application process really isn't that hard. It's a bit of paperwork, takes a bit of time. It's not fun, but personally, thankfully, that process was pretty smooth, pretty easy for me. But I know every year, you know, with recruits, there's a handful where something with applying, it gets done late for them because of different paperwork and finances and things like that pop up. So it just depends on what school you're looking into. Next question, if you could play like any pro player, who would it be and why? Now, if we're just talking about any player, I would say Adama Traore from about a year ago when him and Raul Jimenez had that crazy good year. Just because I love watching those highlights of him, you know, just the speed and the strength and not a ton of skill moves, just touch it by you and go. You know, powerful shot, everything. But position specific, like me being a center back, as far as other center backs, it's hard to compete with Van Dijk. You know, he's just literally, if you could build a center back, you'd build him just like Van Dijk. You just can't beat Van Dijk, you just can't. So I'd probably have to say him. Next one is, what is my favorite pair of boots? I have to say the latest Vapors they've came out with. It takes like 2 weeks to break in, but after those 2 weeks, they just perfectly fit my foot. They just look so clean. They fit, I mean, amazing. Fit right around your foot. And then, you know, the grip with the traction with the cleats on the bottom. It's just, I mean, can't go wrong with those. What league are you aiming to play in after graduating? Of course, the highest league possible would be, you know, the generic answer. But as far as with opportunities I have right now, you know, this summer the team I was playing with is playing with their U20s. Basically, you know, we're their reserve team, and their first team was playing in the NISA Independent Cup. They're looking to get into NISA. NISA is a third division league here in the United States. So I think that seems like the best opportunity so far that I've already got, you know, the coaches contact, know one of them pretty well, and training with, you know, their academy team. So that's one, obviously, that's the closest that I can really see myself doing that. But of course, going to reach out as many clubs as I can, go for as many opportunities as I can, and highest league possible. Is it better to email a bunch of coaches or really personalize a few? It has to be better to just email a bunch of coaches. Exposure is the most important thing for trying to play college or trying to play pro. But like I've said in other videos about emailing coaches, it doesn't have to be super personalized. You can just add 1 or 2 sentences, and the biggest thing, just don't put the wrong coach's name in the email. Don't put the wrong school's name in the email. So it's definitely better to just reach out to as many coaches as you can than instead of taking, you know, an hour to type up each email and then you only send out a handful. But of course, this is the most ideal, and I know in high school pretty much everyone has time to just personalize it a little bit. Just add a little something to stand out from all the other copy and pasted emails that end up in those coaches' inboxes. Have I ever played right back or center mid? Yes, I've played every position except goalie, but then again, I played goalie maybe 2 or 3 games in my career. And I was playing club when I was younger, around 10, 11, 12 or so, like 5th and 6th grade. That was all I played, pretty much was center mid or forward. I played that for my club, and I was pretty solid back then. When I started playing again in high school, I've been defense ever since then, pretty much. And right back was my main position pretty much until college. I came into college thinking I'm a fullback, specifically a right back, and within a week or 2 at college, you know, coaches said, you know, you're big, strong, good in the air, you're gonna be a center back. And I've been a center back ever since. What's your #1 tip for trying to get recruited? Funny you ask this, and I did not come up with this question myself. This is exactly how they worded it. But have a video made a little bit recently about the #1 method to get recruited. If you want a long explanation, formula answer for that, leave the link up here. Go check it out if you haven't already. But like I tell everyone who DMs me about this, comments about it, like I say in my own videos, get a highlight film together, make an email template with you know, your test scores in there, GPA, ACT, or GPA, ACT, SAT, some of your important information, you know, when you're graduating, maybe height, weight, position. In the email, say why you're interested in that school in a sentence or two. You can share your stats, awards, achievements, some of that basic information, like I say, grades, test scores they need to know. And link your highlights in there as well, point them towards those, and send that email out to as many schools and coaches as you can. It's all about reaching out to them first, getting the most exposure possible. Who is my favorite Phoenix Rising player? Obviously I'm from Arizona. I live near Phoenix. Phoenix Rising, I would say, is my favorite club. If I had to pick one, throughout their history, come on, you can't beat Drogba. That guy scored some crazy goals with us. As far as right now, we just had a really good keeper that I think went back to FC Cincinnati. He was on loan, and he was really good. Santi Moar, been a really good player for us. Salman Asante, the captain. I was there at one of the games to watch him score a crazy volley from almost like 40 yards out one game. Rufat Dadashov. We got a lot of good players, and I don't think I could really just pick one. But I think probably like any Phoenix Rising fan, you just can't top Drogba as far as all-time Phoenix Rising player. So last question, what is my number one tip for aspiring young footballers? I think my number one tip, I'd consider myself a young footballer as well. I'm 20 years old. Just develop, I think. And that's something I've really been learning firsthand these last couple of years. Just focus on getting better every day, progressing every day, because you can't control how many minutes you get played. You can't control if the coach likes you or not. You can't control what kind of formation. How good or bad your team is not all in your hands individually. Of course, you have a big impact on that. Just don't let that phase you too much, If you're not getting all the awards and accolades of a certain program, don't make that think, well, there's no way I'm going to play pro or do this now. Because it's not a direct correlation or comparison in this sport. And you see it in the pros. There'll be one guy, I'm on my own club. We got guys like Alexis Sanchez and Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku had one really good season. Next season, everyone is bagging on him. And then he goes to Inter, immediately leading scorer of the league, all these different things. Just focus on getting better every day, developing every day, and look for people around you, coaches, other players that have the same mindset and that want you to get better, that want to get better with you. It's just a matter of hours, putting in the hours, putting in the hard work, working on your weaknesses, and there's a lot of things that are out of your control. Don't let all that pressure from your coaches and teammates and all this stuff in one certain environment get on you. Just focus on comparing yourself to yourself day in and day out. And that way, you'll have more fun, you'll enjoy it, you'll have a much clearer vision than just thinking, I'm not playing as much as I should be right now. Why am I not starting? Why am I not the leading scorer? Why am I not first team, all conference, this, that? Obviously, make the most out of every opportunity, out of every team, club, school you play for. Get the absolute most out of it. But your vision has to be beyond that. So I think that would be my number one tip. A lot of it being through my own experience. So those are all the questions, all 12 questions. Thank you guys so much for those of you that on Instagram, left your questions for me and commented on the last video. And these are a pretty interesting mix of questions, so I enjoy doing this. Like I said before, thank you so much for all your guys' support. 1,500 subs is just crazy that in less than 2 years we're here. And, I can just see it only going up from here. As I always say, I appreciate all your support. I'm always here for questions, advice, someone to talk to, anything. DM me on Instagram is probably the best way, but you can comment, email, whatever it is. Don't be afraid to reach out to me, because it's about a community of me helping you guys with what I know, with what I'm learning, and hopefully you guys can inspire and encourage me as well. So with that said, thank you for watching. God bless all of you. I'll see you in the next one.